day 3 of summer, and we are here with a very miserable overcast start to the day. Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Fendt Farm here on GreenRiver. This is actually dawn, apparently, believe it or not. It's just obviously we can't see the sun at all because of this very thick cloud cover that we have here. But this is supposedly the time when the sun is rising, so that's why we're starting at this early hour. So I ended up working quite late into the night last night. It was around midnight, I think, by the time I finally finished work on this farm. I ended up working a little bit later than I intended to. However, we did manage to achieve a bit. As a result of sort of working long and late into the night, I didn't end up making any more runs over to the dealership, or the animal dealership, for more cows. So we'll be doing that today. And hopefully, because today is day 3, the price might even be a little bit cheaper. Let's take a quick look. Oh, it is. It's 3,600. That's, I think that's cheaper than yesterday. That's very cheap for cows. That's almost pig price. That's very good indeed. So, yeah, we'll definitely be buying some more cows today. As you can see, we have quite a bit of silage in the bunker, or a bit of chaff in the bunker. Now, this is 7 tips worth, 7 full trailers worth of, or grass that's been emptied into there, and then this is, the silage that we made and condensed just so that we had something that we could then use to make some TMR for our cattle. Now, unfortunately, I can't scan this with the Wopster to find out how much it is because it doesn't recognise this. So I'm going to have to do that. Turn the help window on, and you can see we're at 19% fermentation. So that's not too bad. That'll be ready at some point tomorrow, by the look of it. We do have a leveler. We are going to need to sort of do some work in here at some point to start moving that and pushing it back a bit and getting it all compacted. We are going to be adding to this throughout the rest of summer with additional grass and corn, and probably into autumn as well. But we have enough to at least get us started until the end of autumn, when we'll be able to then turn this into a proper batch of silage. Let's take a look at our overview as well for our fields. So you can see that our corn has now started to grow, which is good. That's important because it wasn't. It was still in the planted stage yesterday, so we can get our corn fertilised at some point soon as well. As you can see, they are only at stage 1, so they do need a second dose of fertiliser pretty quick. All of our other crops are already fertilised, so we just need to let them grow. As you can see, they're into their kind of final growth stage by the look of it, but they're not ready yet, and probably won't be ready for another couple of days yet, so nothing pressing going on just there. So we're going to start off by... Oh, actually, let's check out the cows as well, see if they've suffered from not having multiple food sources. And they have a bit. As you can see, they have a bit. They're down to 74%, so they have dipped ever so slightly. We do kind of need to get some power food or silage for them as quick as we can. It's a shame that we can't speed up the fermentation process. So these guys are going to drop in health a little bit more by the look of it over the next day or so. And the reproduction rate pretty low, as you can see. 283 hours is the reproduction rate. That's because they're not at full health and because we only have 9 of them. That'll improve as we add in more cows later today. Just wondering whether to perhaps hold off a little bit and get them a little bit later in the day. Give them time to, give the silage a little bit more time to ferment before we go in and buy in another batch of animals. But we will be definitely adding more cows today. So I think what we'll do is we'll head over to the other farm. We'll pick up our leab, and we'll then go and fertilise our corn. I'll just close that gate behind me there as I walk through. I think this one's closed as well, just double check it. Oh no, I left this one open. Okay, let's close that. So yeah, let's go grab the leaf and then we'll go fertilise our corn. Just need to top the tank up. We kind of burnt through our supplies in here the other day, fertilising all of our other fields. Nearly 2 full tanks worth of fertiliser went on our various crop fields yesterday. I think we'll have enough in a full tank to do both of our 2 cornfields without any real issues in terms of the amount of spray we're going to need. But they're quite awkwardly shaped, so this could be a bit of a challenge trying to fertilise these fields using the lead. It's got those very wide boom arms. This could prove to be very tricky indeed. It feels very strange sitting quite so high up in this thing as well. It feels very rocky and wobbly. Of course, it's ironic, we've said it before. It does look and feel very different when it opens out and those wheels splay out, but it does feel a hell of a lot more stable. So this is going to be the trickiest part with these trees in such kind of close proximity to the edge of the field. We've got to be really careful that we don't catch, and as you can see, it's so awkwardly shaped that it's only going to take a couple of passes up and down the field, but then it's all the extra bits that kind of stick out on the edges that's going to make this quite a tricky field to work with. And we don't have the greatest of visibility at the moment either. It's still pretty dark. It's very overcast. I mean, we can see what we're doing, we can see where we're going. It's not going to be too much of an issue, but like I said, this is definitely going to be more of a thinking challenge in terms of the logistics of spraying this field without wasting a lot of fertiliser. There we go. And already you can see, just trying to reposition this. Those boom arms do not make it easy. Catching on the trees. There we go. Really looking forward to doing some corn chaffing on this field. I think we can get quite a nice big haul into the BGA. I definitely want to try and add in a big chunk of extra cash to our farm this year through silage. And I'm toying with the idea of buying field 12 if it's not too expensive. I think we could actually get a really nice good grass yield off that and throw that into one of the bunkers at the BGA as well to really boost the amount of grass we can get. If we buy that and cut it today, then we could possibly get a second cut before the end of the year. It depends how expensive that field is. Obviously we need to add in a lot more cows today, and that's going to cost us quite a bit of money. We have already kind of spent a fair bit of money today, or over the last couple of days on new gear, etc. But that's a very tempting piece of land. Once I've sprayed this field, we'll go check out that field there. You can see it in front of us. We could even, perhaps take those trees down in the middle and sell those for a bit of extra cash. We can't really do anything with that land. It's way too kind of steep and uneven for us to actually turn it into part of the grass field. But we could certainly make some money off the trees that are in the middle. I don't know, I might leave them there as a little scenic thing. We'll kind of figure that one out if we do ever actually purchase that field. Right, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, carry on spraying this field, and once we're done, as I say, we'll go check out what's the field number? Field number 12, and see how much that's going to cost us. Well, as it turns out, we can actually spray this field pretty efficiently. Kind of did a little bit of border work once I'd gone up to the top there, and work that sort of corner section, and this is the final section here, and you can see we're getting a pretty nice good wide patch here within our sort of spray range. Rather than having like a thin strip to mess around with, we've actually got a really good sized piece here, so not much wastage of fertilizer, which is always good. And there we go. So let's get folded. And let's go check out field 12. Let's make our way off the field. There we go. There is actually an update in testing as I record this for GreenRiver. I have absolutely no idea the full extent of the update, but I do know that there is kind of like an invisible wall along the edge of field 5? Yes, field 5 over by the pigs. There's kind of an invisible wall over there, and that is one of the things I think that Bart said he was going to be looking to remove with the first update. So not sure what else is going to get looked at. Be interesting to see, but hopefully that'll go live pretty soon. Right, so here is the field purchase point. Oh wow, yeah, we're not buying this field. 939,000 euros. That is way too expensive. Way too expensive, and we can't contract to produce that price either because it's a grass field. You can't do contract work, so that is, yeah, that is way too expensive. Right, we need to make our way. I'm trying to think what's the best way to go. I think we need to turn around here actually. Yeah, there we go. We need to make our way over to our other cornfield. We'll give that a quick spray, and then we will look at perhaps bringing our animals across. So I'll see you in just a moment. Once again, this is going to be quite a tricky field for us to actually spray. Probably even harder, I think, than the other one in some cases, because it has got this very strange kind of shape to it. So to be properly efficient, actually we're actually not quite on the edge there. There we go. To be properly efficient on this is going to take some doing, I think. But we'll do the best we can. You can see what I mean about it being a really awkward shaped field. Just loads of weird, strange little areas to not make it a nice, easy up and down job. Part of the field will be, but we've also got this really tricky section over here. I wonder if I can actually cover all of that stretch. Oh, we can, look at that. Oh, this might actually work out quite nicely. Interesting. Right. Okay, I'll crack on, make some progress on this field, and then catch up with you again as we're pretty much done with it. And once again you can see that we've been able to actually get a nice wide pass for our final pass rather than thin little strips. Always pleased when that happens. So just a little bit more to go. You can just kind of see the end of the strip coming up in front of us there. And then yeah, I think cattle is probably the next job. We don't really have much else to do. All of our crops now are kind of fertilised, we just need to let them grow. Same with our corn, can't really do anything with that now. Our silage is fermenting away, had to get that started yesterday, need that as quick as possible. We can do some work in the bunker that we've got, so maybe we'll do that first. Maybe we'll start condensing down the material that we have got already, just to save us a little bit of health issues, you know, with our livestock. Yeah, the longer we can go without actually bringing them in, then the better their long-term health will be. And I am kind of curious as well as to whether or not bringing in, you know, full health cows, well, we'll say full health, 80% health cows to a herd that's less than 80%. I'm wondering whether that will bring the overall health percentage up a little bit, or whether it'll bring the percentage of the new stock down to match the existing livestock. That's going to be interesting to see, I think. So many kind of questions that we still don't really know when it comes to working with animals on seasons, because we haven't done huge amounts of it, and what we have done has been, you know, very kind of standard, very little kind of breaking from the norm. So this one's been a little bit different. You can see my truck parked in my executive spot again. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab the 939. I think that's still got dual wheels on it as well, if I remember rightly. So we'll take that down to the farm, and from there we'll start working in the bunker. We'll start condensing and compacting it a little bit. Kind of squeeze through. Just, I have got a silage blade at the farm ready and waiting. It's a medium one, I believe, so we could always use it with a wheel loader. Brain isn't quite kicking in just yet. Yeah, we could use it with a wheel loader. What I'm tempted to do is actually buy a bigger blade for the animal farm for tractors, and then the smaller one, which can be fitted, you know, with either a 3-point hitch or a wheel loader hitch. We could then take that one over to the BGA and have that there for our wheel loader. So I'll have a think about that. We'll see how we get on, I think, using the smaller blade here. But as I say, yeah, we're bringing a 390 horsepower tractor down, which is nearly, well, no, it's more than nearly, it's more than twice the power available to us with this than we have in terms of sheer horsepower with a wheel loader. So I suppose it makes sense to have the bigger blade over here. Oh, it looks like the sky is brightening up as well. The cloud cover has finally broken. You can see we've got some blue sky out the window starting to appear. There is our silage blade. So let's try and do a little bit of compacting and resculpting of this pile here. Slow my cruise control right down. Change the blade angle. And see how we do. the eventual plan is for this to become quite a nice sort of smooth kind of stack, which is why I want to keep the speed low, so I can try and keep a nice smooth kind of level. It's going to take us a little while to actually get to that point though, so I'm going to sort of jump ahead a bit more, do some more sort of slow speed work in here, and once I've kind of made a bit more progress, I will give you a little bit of an update. Alright, there we go. That is some nice little progress on our silage bunker there. So we'll drop this back here. Oops. There we go. And on the way back to the farm, I'm going to take a detour and I'm going to show you the kind of area that I picked clean. And I did literally pretty much pick it clean. Very, very little grass remaining in that area. I mean, there's still some areas in some kind of hidden bits, and there are bits where we could take a couple more trees out and then we could work in other parts of that area, but in terms of the main section that I was working in, completely picked it clean. I suppose just get some beacons on, seeing as we are moving with twins on the road. There we go. So there are actually a few different points where you can kind of go off into this area, and you could even expand it as well. It's not limited to just the grass that we were working on yesterday. There's also sort of other areas that you could potentially add into that as well. You could create a ring that goes all the way around, and so you've got this large kind of clearing section in there which kind of loops all the way through as well. But this is the area that we were working in yesterday. You can see I've literally just stripped all of it down to just the stubble of the grass field, all the way down here. And then all the way around this corner as well. This huge, great big area, completely picked clean. Even on the verge in some places as well, you can see, look, I've even stripped down the verge. Haven't done that quite in every place, and it gets quite sort of bumpy and lumpy in places, so I kind of stopped doing that. But and again, look, just this massive area, and beyond that there is scope for additional grass as well. So there's a couple of trees here that you could remove, and then this area here kind of then loops back and goes all the way around, and you've even got a line of trees that you could even remove there and further expand that section as well. That goes back to sort of the entrance path where we enter the forest. And then beyond that there's another area sort of this way as well, so you can really kind of push on and expand over here. I mean, over there is the back of field 35, but as you get to this section here, you know, you've got, you know, little gaps in the trees where you can kind of squeeze through, and you've got a little kind of clearing down here. It's not a particularly big one. Whoops, bumped into something there. But when you get to this section, and I haven't actually driven down here, there's an invisible wall here to stop us from going any further. I was going to say, you can see that there's this huge, great big stretch of grass that runs behind those trees, but yeah, we seem to have hit an invisible wall, and there doesn't seem to be a way around it, I don't think. Yeah, no, there's no way around that bit. So I thought maybe there was an extra stretch of grass there that we could maybe work with, but it doesn't appear to allow us to, unless maybe you can get in through the bottom of field 34, possibly. But again you can see here, look, this nice little gap in the trees for us to just roll through there if we wanted to. So really big grass expanse. I don't know whether or not to plough this area. I think I might well do. I think I might come in here with a plough and replant it, but we'll get a second cut off this year, so we'll wait till we've done that, and then we'll probably plough this towards the end of winter slash into the end of autumn slash beginning of spring, we'll probably plough that area up. And in terms of another shortcut, you can kind of nip through here, and you can get out here, which brings you on that little access road for 35, and then if you cut through here as well, you can see the beaten path where I did kind of cut through here yesterday to try and reduce the amount of travel time I was taking. Just driving into everything because I'm in the wrong camera mode. There we go. Just a little cut through just here, and then you're back onto the road, and it saves you going all the way down that way and then kind of looping back a bit. So that was kind of the result of all of that work yesterday. All that silage and chaff that we have in our bunkers all came from that field, that one field. That got us 112 litres of silage that's currently fermenting, and then another 7 full trailers, each one at 56,000 litres, into our other bunker as well. So that's another 380,000 litres or so of chaff that is in the other bunker. That's an awful lot of stuff. Right, I'm at the wrong farm, aren't I? I need to take this back and put this into storage again. And what we'll do is we'll once again we'll grab one of our 826s, or either the 826 or the 828. I think we haven't used the 828 for a few days. Let's take the 828 today, and we'll make some runs over to the animal dealership, and we'll bring in a load more cows. Then we'll go buy a mixer, because we do need to get a mixer, and we'll start making, we'll start putting in some extra food for our new cow livestock. It's just a shame I can't mix up a load of TMR today. I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow for that. So hopefully, as I say, the cow health isn't going to deteriorate too much further with the lack of silage in their food troughs. I'm hoping we can get away with what we've got for another day without too much of a detrimental effect. Oh, I can squeeze in here. I can get out so I can get in. It's just awkward angle. There we go. Try and get lined up. I'm really struggling to drive this thing today. It's bouncing all over the place. There we go, that's close enough. Right, so yeah, we'll take our 828, our stealth tractor. Let's go pick up the animal trailer and start making some shuttle runs over to the dealership. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting moment. This is going to be our chance to see whether or not adding in additional cows is going to change the overall health of our herd. Let's get the door open first of all. Let's check what our current health is. We are currently at 73%, so they're still dropping. Was it 74, I think, when we started today. So let's see what happens if we add in another 9 cows and double the size of our herd. Let's get the doors open. There we go. Oh, it has improved the health. Look, the health is now 76. That's interesting. So it does seem as though it kind of averages out based on, you know, the health of the animals, you know, overall. Some are obviously going to be at a lower percentage than others. We've now got some that are at 73 and some are at 80, and it's kind of averaging at 76. That's very interesting to see. So it does mean that we are going to have to be kind of a little bit careful as we continue to add in, because it means we're going to have some cows that are going to be a lot lower health than our overall percentage actually indicates. And they will obviously be the first ones to start dying off if their health gets too low. There we are, that is the last of our cows being delivered today. I spent quite a lot of money actually. We're up to 45 cows, and of course the impact of a lot of new livestock being added in is that our food troughs are now looking very, very empty. So we need to do some kind of top-up work for our cattle. Let's just park the trailer here for a second. Actually, no, let's just close the door first before we do anything else. Let's go put the trailer away. Think where to store this thing, and I'm toying with the idea of actually leaving it up here. Let's see, what do we have in these areas? I know the forklift is in here. There's the forklift. Have we got anything next to it? No? Might put the trailer just there actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the trailer in there. Question is, can I actually get this thing in from this angle? I don't think I can. No, not really. Okay. Right, let's turn around. Turn around. I don't think I can turn around either. Oh dear. Just about squeeze around. Okay, so we'll have to approach it from the other angle, like this. It's a little bit too severe. There we go. That's better. So we'll drop that just there. Keep that out of the way. Let's close the door up. And let's go jump into our water tanker. Well, we'll jump into it. Let's go connect up to our water tanker. and top up our water levels. I think our sheep are going to need a little bit of a drink as well, if I remember rightly. You can see our Juno there is working away. It's trying to pick up all that extra grass, but there's too much at the moment. We kind of overfilled the trough. I had one sort of loose bale left over last night, and I threw it into the food trough. And we now have too much. So that's why the Juno isn't picking that grass up. There's just too much. There's not enough space for that grass to go back into the trough. So some of that grass is that's on the ground is going to rot away. Some will eventually get picked up, I think, and get put back in. But we're going to lose a fair bit of it, I think, by the look of it. There we go. So that's the sheep taken care of. Cows are going to need a fair bit more water than just 3,000 litres, I think. Let's take a quick look at the feeding chart. Yeah, they've got 1,000. Well, actually, maybe we can get away with it. They've only got, what, 1,500 litres, but that's about a day's worth nearly of supplies. We might get away with it. It won't be fully filled, but it'll certainly be close to being full, I think, after these 3,000 litres here. We'll certainly triple the amount that we have in there at the moment. And we're going to have to come back and do more work with the cattle soon anyway, you know, once we get our TMR supplies up and running, so that'll be enough, I think. Just have to remember to top the water trailer up next time we need it. So again, let's close the gate. There we go. You can just see the mower parked up just there, look, next to the tyres. Let's turn the beacons off. And of course, by moving the animal trailer over there, it has now freed up a slot in here again for me to put the water tanker back under this canopy. So we'll drop that in just next to the Veen Hewis trailer. We're going to go and use that to get some grass from our silo. If actually no, we'll leave the grass in the silo. We'll use the mower again, so let's park this here, because we might need to take something back to the other farm in a moment. Let's go do a little bit of mowing on the ground. I do still want to get a food mixer today. That's going to cost us another 160,000. I'm slightly concerned that we've probably hammered our sort of money a little bit too hard. But we kind of needed to bring in those cows. They'll start to recoup some money. They're generating slurry for us already. Once they get some straw, they'll start generating manure. Just don't want them to escape. There we go. Yeah, so once they've once they get the straw, they'll start generating solid manure for us. That'll be another commodity that we can either use. Well, we can definitely use. We can use it to top up the greenhouses and double the income that we're getting from those things there. So that'll be a big boost for us financially. We're going to get the milk money coming in. We've got a little bit of milk money overnight. It wasn't a huge amount. Again, they're not at full productivity because they don't have all the food sources that they need, or the straw bedding for that matter. But we do definitely need to get a mixer in, and the mixer, as I say, 160 grand for the one I want. I'm going to really put a little bit of financial strain on ourselves for a little period of time, but eventually, you know, the greenhouses will start producing twice as much money as they are doing. We could potentially even throw in some beehives later today as well, just to give us a bit more daily income. Oh, there's a strip of grass that got missed there on that field. I'll have to go and tag that a little bit later. And we're going to have some money coming in from silage, you know, a little bit later in the year as well. So Yeah, we're gonna kind of hammer ourselves financially for a period of time, but we'll have stuff that we'll be able to do to reduce that debt back down again, in terms of, you know, our silage, milk sales, income from our community area. And on top of that, you know, we're then going to be getting into sort of crop sales in the winter, and maybe a bit of logging as well. So yeah, I'm not overly concerned at the moment. I think, you know, it's going to be very expensive for a period of time to run our farm, and then, you know, that'll kind of calm itself down again and ease itself out. There we go. So that's almost a full tank of grass. That is a full tank of grass. There we go. And I've been in touch with Bart from NLD Farmers, just asking what's in the update, and he's come back to me with some information as to what we can expect. So the things listed in the changelog are for consoles, fixed the speed bump texture. You remember I was a little bit off-put by the speed bumps in my map tour because they looked a little bit weird. One side of them had this really bizarre kind of texture, and I suspected at the time that that was kind of a bit broken. Well, it turns out it is, and it's being fixed in the update, which is good. We're also getting a fixed ground on field 29. Now, I didn't know that there was an issue on field 29. As you can see, is that sort of triangular shaped field, bottom left corner of the map. We haven't been down there, so I'm not entirely sure what the issue was, but apparently there was one, and that's being fixed. Fixed collision with fences. Now, I suspect that means that the fences that run around the edges of field 26 that currently don't have collisions, that means that they will get collisions. Fixed collision on movable fences. So for that, I think it might be the bollards that you see on some of those side roads. So there's a kind of a pathway that goes between 33 and 34, and there's a little bollard there which you can raise and lower. It might be an issue with collisions on that. That perhaps might be getting fixed. I'm not sure what movable fences are, but they're getting fixed apparently. What else? Fixed map boundaries. Now that could be interesting. I wonder if that means I'm going to lose access to that big green grass meadow behind the forest. I hope not. I guess we'll find out when the update goes live. Fixed pallet spawner for sheep. So again, you'll see, we actually talked about this the other day, didn't we? Where this is actually spawning outside of the pallet spawner here. That apparently is going to be fixed, so hopefully all the pallets will spawn inside this area, and hopefully as well they'll actually be facing the other direction, so instead of sitting this way they'll actually sit this way instead. That'll be nice. Well, so that's getting fixed. New traffic signs are coming as well. And there's going to be a replaced silo of visual only, so apparently we're getting a new silo. Instead of having the shed, it'll be something else. I'm not sure what. I have asked for a screenshot, but I haven't had one yet. And then for PC guys, you're getting a couple of specific updates for you guys. Most of those updates that I listed were all consoles, apart from the new traffic signs and this. This is also going to apply to PC, as are the new traffic signs. And then also for PC, you'll get the silo. And then for PC only, there will be a fixed pallet spawner for wood. So this will be for the sawmill. I'm guessing for where you guys can make planks, etc. You're going to get a fixed spawner over there. And also added a compost master for PC. So that'll be nice for you guys. We unfortunately don't get those because of scripting issues. We can't have them on console. But yeah, a couple of little PC extra bits there. Most of the bugs and changes in that changelog are for console. There are some that are for all systems, and then a couple that are for PC only as well. So there's the update for you. Right, what can we do now that we've done our sheep? Well, we do actually, as you can see, we still need to do the food. I'm only going to throw in a single bale. In fact, I don't know, do I risk throwing in another bale? They've got enough water, they've got enough grass now for the cows. I don't know if I want to throw in another bale, because I am going to essentially want to kind of run that hay down a little bit, so that when we get power food we can kind of mix it all up, and we should have the ability to make power food tomorrow. So I'll hold off on adding hay for now, but I may have to throw another bale in there in the future. So let's look at getting ourselves a mixer. So I'm going to need more money. We've got 400,000 of debt at the moment. That's not too bad. We're going to take out quite a bit of cash again today, because there's a few things I want to get. So you can just hear me hammering the button here. Let's go up to 750. Might have to go a little bit higher than that. There's a few things I want to add in today. So first thing I want to add in is the mixer. So we're going to buy the modded version of this. This is the in-game version with a 13,000 litre capacity. We want this one. Oh, it's only 150. I thought it was 160. This has a 32,000 litre capacity, much more cost effective for us. We're going to buy one of those. Those of you who are regular viewers on my channel will have seen me use this on American Midwest. Didn't really use it to its full potential because we had a lot of loose materials. This time we're going to be using bales, so it's going to be fun to actually load the bales into this and then kind of top up the silage afterwards. I want to buy another Juno, one for our cows. I'm trying to think whether or not to go with a different colour for the cows. I don't suppose it makes a difference. Let's go with Fendt green again. We'll not put a beacon on this one. There we go, which means we do need a charging station as well. So let's buy one of those. Where is the placeable? There it is. Now I want to see if I can get this right up against the side of the shed here, if at all possible. Oh, beautiful! Look at that. Perfect. So that'll cover the maintenance costs for our new Juno, which is going to be inside the cow shed. And also, what I also want to get, because we're going to need it in the future, is one of these. Now these are 328,000. Do I buy that today, or do I just wait until we actually need it? I think we'll wait until we actually need it, so we're not incurring massive amounts of daily interest. So we've got plenty of cash to be able to acquire that in the future. Well, I do need those. I need another leveler. I'm going to buy the larger leveler. This is going to be for the one here at the farm, and then we'll take the other one up to the BGA, the medium one that we already have, and we'll convert that over so that we can use that with our wheel loader. And I get the feeling there's still something else I need, and I can't think what it is. I still think I'm missing something. I don't know. No, I can't think what it is. Okay, but that's enough to keep us going anyway. So let's make our way over to the store. Let's grab our mixer, bring that over. I've got to figure out where I'm going to store that. Actually, that's going to be interesting. I might possibly store it. I wouldn't store it in with the cows. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. Figure out exactly where I'm going to store that. Ideally, I suppose it should go over here, which means something over here kind of needs to disappear. And I suppose the obvious choice would be the low loader. We'll take that over to the farm and then stick the food mixer in there. So, yeah, let's make our way over to the store. We'll go over on foot because it's not too far, and then we'll drive our mixer back. I suppose really thinking about it, I could have taken the low loader over to collect this, but I use those things so infrequently that I keep forgetting about them. I keep forgetting about loading stuff onto those trailers. And also it's quite long, and I'm not sure it would potentially have fit, because this isn't the longest of low loaders. It's kind of designed more for shorter vehicles or shorter equipment, so I'm not entirely sure it would have actually fit. Let's just kind of pull it alongside and have a look. Yeah, it wouldn't have fit, look. So yeah, maybe we saved ourselves a bit of a job there. Let's get this backed up. There we go. So we have our mixer in there now. So we have everything we need now for our animals. We have our mixer, our water container, our transport trailer for when we need to go and collect grass from the silo. We have our bale trailer. That's going to go over to the other farm, and I'll probably end up sticking that near the combine. Need to go and get the low loader, not the low loader, sorry, the Lely Juno and the leveler from the store. So we'll grab those. Drop the Juno off and the leveler off, pick up the other leveler, take that over to the BGA, also take the low loader back to the other farm, and then I think that's pretty much it for the day. All of our sort of important stuff that needs to be done is done, so I might do a little bit more contracting this afternoon. We've got some fields that are ready for another stage of fertiliser, so I'll probably jump on those and spend the afternoon just working the local fields a bit more, just to bring the prices down a touch more as well. Let's get that raised up. I am the wrong side of this, aren't I? Never mind, we can turn it around. There we go. So let's get these bits over to the farm as well, getting everything kind of in the right places that it needs to be. And then, as I say, there's nothing really left for us to do. We've got our kind of silage bubbling away for us there. We've got our chaff now kind of squashed down a bit, and certainly ready for a load more to go in later on this season. We've got our animals in place, and they've got enough food to get them through until, at the very least, you know, late today, early tomorrow. Hopefully a little bit longer than that. I can't think of anything else that needs to be done today. All of our crops are fertilised, so it is literally just a case now, I think, of setting up the Juno, transporting this equipment back, and then that's it. So I'll do that. I'll do some contracting, and tomorrow we'll readdress where we are, and hopefully we'll be able to start mixing up some TMR. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of GreenRiver, and hopefully with an updated map as well very soon.